Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm hoping that everyone is having a long, fun weekend for Labor Day, and we're back with another video. And this video is going to be a little different. It's not really about e-racing lab or motion or any of that, but of course it's going to be related to simulators and whatever this channel is all about. So for this video, we are going to cover a new setup that I actually built into my gaming room, and I'll go over why I built this setup, the thoughts behind it, and some details about it, and show the setup, of course, and show what I'm using it for, and hopefully this video can help someone who's almost in a similar situation and a similar boat as mine. So let's get started. So as you guys know, and you've seen from previous video, I have simulators that are dedicated, one that is dedicated to racing, and another one here that is fully dedicated to flight sim. Now, and both of my setups, they're all 3 monitor setups, and although this setup right here for the racing, it does have some flight controls, but of course it's not as dedicated and it's not as fully loaded as the one that is on this side, which is, I'll show it in more details as well. So the problem that I used to have is, and I always have, which is, it's like whenever I want to play VR games, or I want to, let's say I want to race in VR, or I want to, fly in VR, since I have 3 monitors, you cannot plug in the display cable for the VR. Although the 4090 or the 4080, they do have 4 ports in the back, 3 display and 1 HDMI. So somebody can say, well, use one of the monitors as HDMI or get an adapter and then you can connect all 4. No, it does not work. You cannot have 3 monitors running and also have the VR running. So you cannot have 4 connected. Maybe 4 monitors work fine, but when you connect the HDMI, the display port for the headset, for the VR headset, you get a big error message saying that you have exceeded the number of displays that could be connected. So what I had to do is I would have to go back to the back of the computer, unplug one of the monitors, plug the VR headset in, and then do some setup again, all over again, to make it work. And then when I want to stop playing in VR, I would have to unplug the VR, unplug the 3rd monitor, set up NVIDIA surround or whatever I have to do all over again to get things working. So that process was very, very painful, and I did not like it. I want to be able to switch quickly, do things quickly. I don't want to go back, unplug in, and eventually the more you unplug in the display port cables, it may actually mess up the port and it will mess up the card. So I didn't want to deal with any of that. I thought about maybe getting some adapters, like a display port adapters. One port goes into the video card, and then you can switch with a small hub which display adapter that you want to use. I bought expensive ones. They would work sometimes they wouldn't. Same thing with USBs. Multiple different USB adapters. Nothing. It just didn't work. So I tried it. If you have a 3 monitor setup and you think that you can freely use VR without unplugging cables, unplugging back cables, I tell you right now, it's not gonna work. It's a hassle, and you're not gonna enjoy it. So I got sick of that. So what I decided to do is, you know what? The hell with all of this. Sure, I have a PC dedicated for the sim racing. I have a PC dedicated for the flight sim, and I also have another PC in my room that is dedicated for if I want to play PC games with a controller or something on my TV, and I'll show that setup. So and like 3 nights ago, I was sitting down and there's a game called Wingman, I think, or I'll remember the game. I'll show the game. It's on stream. It's like fighting jets and all that. Just have targets, you on a bomb and stuff like that. And I set up that computer and that game supports VR. And I started using the VR headset, and man, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I was still playing with the controller, the headset on. I loved that the setup, sitting on my couch, playing with the VR, no hassle, none of that. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna build another rig that is only dedicated for VR games, and some other stuff, but the 90% of that is going for VR games. So I said, you know what, let me see what kind of low budget sim setup that I can put together that can support both racing and it can support flying as well, and you know, for VR and all of that. And I wanted to spend maybe like about $1,500, but of course that didn't work out, and I'll tell you why. I spent a lot more than that, but yeah. So I wanted to do this video because if somebody's going through the same situation, you have 3 monitors set up, you want to play with VR, and hopefully you have another computer, other gaming machine that is set up, and you want to dedicate that for VR gaming or PC gaming in general outside of Sims, then hopefully this video can help you and maybe give you some idea. You don't have to go exactly with the same equipment and the same setup that I had, but at least it'll give you a general idea of what to buy, what to think of, and all of that. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and show the setup and show what I've built and my new gaming station that I've really been using a lot more than my flight sim and my racing sim. Alright guys, so I don't know if you remember from before, from previous videos, that I have these two like theater seating chairs, and they were actually close to each other. They were, you know, very, very close and touching each other. So when I thought about this, and I had a PC sitting in this corner right here, but when I thought about this, like, you know what, maybe I can separate them and I can find this, like a smaller looking frame that can actually fit nicely, and I can use it for my setup. So after some research and looking around, and you know, I always buy my rigs. I've been buying my rigs from Track Racer. Of course, I've never had any issues with Track Racer. I decided to look again under Track Racer, and I went with the RS6 frame. I think it's an older frame that they have, and they still sell it. It's an awesome little, you know, it's an awesome little frame, very compact, very easy to put together compared to the you know, 80/20 aluminum rigs. So this is what I went for. I went with the R6S. It was about $500, I think, well, $550, and I decided I always loved that seat, the Alpine seat that Track Racer came out with. It's a fiberglass seat. I think it was like $450. I always wanted it. I always liked the seat. So I decided, you know what, let's just go ahead for that seat. So again, I thought that I want a budget setup, but it didn't end up being a budget setup. So you can find a better seat, or actually not better. I can find a less expensive seat for like $250, but this one is like, I think $450 or $500. I don't remember the price of the seat. So in total, the rig and the seat cost about $1,100 for this setup. Now, I was looking at other type of for sim rigs for my direct drive wheel and pedals. I was looking for something like, I was looking at Moza, I was looking at some other solution that Fanatec. I wanted to try something else, but then at the end, because I have a full-blown Fanatec setup, I have all the Fanatec wheels, and I wanted to go with the QR2, so this way I can reuse what the setup that I have and the wheels that I have instead of buying new wheels. I started looking at Fanatec again. And another thing that I wanted is I wanted a system or a base that is compatible with both my PlayStation 5 and PC. Because I may want to play like F1, although it's on both systems. Either or like Gran Turismo or any games that comes out on PS5 that I want to try. I wanted to have that flexibility to switch between PS5 or the PC. And the only base that supported that on Fanatec with the QR2 is the DD Plus, which was like $1,000 for the base. Pretty solid base. I like it. It's very rigid, very nice. Even the looks of it is nice. You know, it really compares to my DD2 on the on my actual professional sim racing rig. So yeah, this is what I went for, and I didn't get any wheels or anything because, like I said, I already have my own wheels from Fanatec, so I did not need to buy another you know, racing wheel. And for the pedals, I went with also Fanatec, the V3 pedals, and I got the dampers for the gas and for the brakes. I think the pedals were around I don't remember, 400 maybe 450, and or less, a little bit less, I don't remember. And the dampers, I think $79 each. So I got both of them. So that's about 160 bucks. And for the flight sim, I went with a Thrustmaster, the T16000, and it basically there's a package. Depends, it comes with the throttle, the flight stick, and the rudder. But of course, there's no place to put the rudder. It's going to be painful to replace between rudders and the pedals. So I just decided to go with these two, just the throttle and the flight stick. And if you want to do rudders, you can actually, the back of the thrust, it has rudder-like control. So that's perfectly fine for me. I don't need any more than that. Because if I really want to go professional, and if I want to really do flight sim, I don't need to be sitting in this rig. Same thing with the racing. If I want the whole full motion, more realism, the seat belt and all of that stuff, and I would have to just go with my actual sim racing. And on this side, it's already ready for. I also ordered the Fanatec shifter and the Fanatec handbrake. Those are coming. I think September 6th. They'll be available in stock. And then I'll receive them. I did not have any issues with shipping, either on the R6S from. By the way, this is the R6S or RS6 flight rig. They have one for racing and they have one for flight. The one for flight will come with these two sides right here, so you can put the throttle and the flight stick. And then I put them all the way to the back. Like you can see, they connect to the side of the rig. So I connected it all the way to the back so I can make room here for a shifter and a handbrake. So this is basically how the setup looks like. And if you look in the back, I have my PC in the back that is running. And of course my VR headset. And I moved my VR treadmill closer as much as I can so I can actually reach the computer. And it's right here with the shoes and everything. And of course I have the haptic suit and basically anything related to haptics I have as well. And that, you have the, let's see, you have the hand ones, you have the leg ones, you have everything related to haptic is also here. So yeah, and this is the TV that I'll be using for the gaming. This is a 77-inch LG OLED TV. And I'm going to show you something else that is cool that I'm going to take advantage of since I have this setup right here. And of course, this setup here has like a 7.1 surround system with Dolby Atmos. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really cool. And I want to take advantage of the projector that I have and the 120-inch screen that I have here. And I'll show you what it looks like when I pull this down. So this is basically what I have. And remember, like I mentioned, if I want to take advantage and I want to really be flying and enjoying the flight sim, I would just come here. This is something that I built, and I probably showed it in some other video. This is, after 747 or 737. All of that is here, so I can use that if I want to, instead of relying on the basic setup that I have there. Same thing with the racing rig. You've seen that before. It has everything, the hydraulic pedals, all of that. And if I want to really go for a full-blown experience, I could use that. And another thing is why I decided to go with this. When friends are over, they keep asking, hey, can we play against each other? How can we do multiplayer? And so this will be another reason for why this setup is here. So now let me show you the setup. Let me show you the gameplay, and I want to show you what the advantage that I took over of this location of the setup here when I pulled down the projector screen. And here, if I'm done playing on the projector, I can just pull it back up, and then we get the TV. Yep, so this is basically what's going on. Alright guys, and one more thing that I want to talk about is this wheel. So I got this wheel, I mean not necessarily for this setup, but I saw this wheel, and it's not really a Fanatec wheel, but it works with Fanatec. It has QR2, and it comes from Leoxd, I don't know, Leoxd, so Leoxd. So I did not even open this wheel yet, but I know I've seen the pictures. It looks pretty cool, pretty awesome. You got these stickers that you can put on, and let's see. Look at that. It looks pretty cool. It has a nice little screen, a QR2 already installed. And like I said, it's not made by Fanatec, but it's it's heavy. I love it. Let's connect it to the rig and see if it's identified and working as expected. Okay guys, so here's the wheel connected to the Fanatec DD Plus base, and the wheel comes with the latest firmware, and you plug it in, you get access. You get access to this menu by holding down this button right here. You just hold it down. So this is usually when you plug it in, this is what happens. But if you hold it down, then you'll have access to the menu, and you need this menu for let's see, USB to choose the wheel mode, since it could either be USB wireless or Fanatec. And I have the USB cable, but since I have a Fanatec base, I am just going to connect it. I'm gonna set it up to become for Fanatec mode. So let's do that real quick. Wireless and Fanatec, and now you see it says connected, which is cool. Easy as that. And then screen brightness. This one is, I don't have the clutch controls added to it, so you can customize it. I don't have the clutch controls added to it. And then bar brightness, let's see what that is. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's put it, I don't know, 60%, that's all the way to 100. Button pro, oh, nice. And you see that what's happening is the bar brightness, that's the first thing. And the button brightness, I'm also gonna set it to 100%. Okay. And that's it. I think the wheel is ready. That is it. It took like a couple minutes to just set it up and get it ready.